Welcome back to another amazing episode of Blam Blam Truckers. I'm Bees and I'm flying solo. Buse will be joining us eventually. Not tonight, though. Not for this video. And what we're covering today are the couple of things I still missed from all the quality of life changes that EverQuest has made. There's been so many. We talked a little bit about instancing and zones. I wanted to go over that again. And I wanted to talk about packs. And yeah, mentioned the DB store. I kind of went over all that with you. Well, the other place to buy stuff is from the website directly. And what you can buy here, there's only three things. There's a 140 slot 100% weight reduction bag, two 40 slot 100% weight reduction bags, and the EverQuest House of Thule Collector's Edition Revival. Now, if you are going to spend real life money on EverQuest, this is what I suggest you get is now you can only claim these once. These bundles, these two bundles here, they can only be claimed once. But this, which can also only be claimed once, has 1,000 of each of these. Well, maybe not all of them, but all the important stuff. Like I'm not sure there's 1,000 of these pictures. I never use them. I don't stick in the game long enough. But there are 1,000 mounts, 1,000 of this version of the mount, which is the same thing, only a different color. There are 1,000 Knoll pups, which you can have follow you. Once, I'm not sure exactly when that becomes available as an option. 1,000 Sword of Truth templates, which means you can make a sword, a 1,000 different swords look like this. 1,000 20 slot no weight bags, and 1,000 16 slot no weight bags. I bought this once. I haven't gotten through all this. The bags are lore. The mounts are lore. Don't know about the vanity pet there, but I don't care. I don't use it. You might think, oh, this is wonderful. I'm gonna use this all the time, but you can only use one per character. So I use one mount per character. I use 2 bags per character, and I haven't used 100 of them yet. You can only have 11 character or 10, 9 or whatever it is characters per server unless you buy more. And sometimes I do buy more, but not always. You get other stuff with these bags, including if you buy this one, you get some resurrection totems, which give you a bundle of 5 85% experience res tokens, which means you can res even if you're not a cleric 5 times, which is pretty cool. A bottle of clarity pack, a bottle of alacrity pack, a potion of speed. We covered this in the DB store video. And then 2 40 slot 100% weight reduction bags. Now this can only be claimed once and only on one character, but it's heirloom, so well, only the bags are heirloom. These bottles stay on the character you gave them, you claim it with, just so you know. Other than that, this is huge. Having that much space on your toon, fantastic. What I did back when I had money all the time, if I needed a lot, so this is going to reset, by the way. The same day that the server comes out, they usually reset this so that it's 2 new bags for the next year. So this is last year's, this is 2023's. So the next one should be coming out when the new server Teak drops, which is the 22nd of May. And then you'll have new bags. And you can, if you buy these before Teak starts, and then you buy the other ones after Teak starts, you'll actually be able to have 4 40 slot bags, which is pretty cool, just so you know. Anyway, those are packs, so consider it. This House of Thule I highly recommend because it's, if you don't want to blow all the money on bags here and you want to mount and this for all your toons, this is the most cost-effective way to do it. 1,000 of these bags, sure they're lore, sure you can only have 120 slot and 116 slot on every one of your characters, but you can have 120 slot and 116 slot on every one of your characters. That's pretty awesome. So that's it for packs. Now we're going to see what else I got here. Okay, setting group. We're going to go backwards or reverse from bottom to top this time. Setting group roles. So now when you're in a group, now this was not possible. It's not possible on P99. It didn't happen in Classic, but they made this change. And like a lot of the other changes, it's retroactive. You can actually assign, I mentioned this in passing, a main assist to your group. So when you don't use slash assist anymore for your command when you're making a macro for assist. You use slash assist main, M-A-I-N, 2 words, slash assist space main, M-A-I-N. What happens when you do that is whoever is assigned as main in the group, when you hit the assist button, you will automatically assist the main. And you just do it by right-clicking their name in the group window, and the leader can do that. The leader of the group right-clicks their name in the name window and chooses their role. You can assign the looter. You can assign looter, puller, healer, main assist, and main tank, which is pretty much the same thing. But when you get in a group, people are going to be assigning roles. It's pretty much standard. Get used to doing it if you start groups. People rely heavily, and the puller, assigning someone as puller allows them to get, I was told this, I haven't verified it on a website. Somebody told me in passing while I was gaming, and I heard it maybe 5, 15, 20 times, it could just be a rumor, that if you get the puller assignment, then you have a longer range that you can receive experience from. So if you're farther away from the mob, you'll still get the experience, like if you're off pulling, which is what pullers do. All right, that's group roles in a nutshell. The raid window. So it used to be, back in the day and on P99, if you go into a raid, everybody's in those groups together, but each individual raid leader is in charge of making sure the right people are in their group. So you have the raid leader, you have the group leaders, and each individual group leader is assigned to making sure the right people are in their groups. They have to invite back and forth. It is a complicated thing that was hard to manage. The raid window allows you to manage all that with a few clicks of the button. You have one raid leader, they can lock and unlock the raid. When they lock the raid, they can move people around. When they unlock the raid, people can move themselves around. That's the basic rule. You can invite people to the raid. If you have all the people in it, then you can invite people to your expedition or to your DZ, your dynamic zone, which we're about to cover. But yeah, the raid window, it's a major upgrade. It's very useful, and you can access it by typing in /raid window. I think it's /raidw is the shorthand for it, but /raid window will get you to it. Very useful. And there's also an option to invite your entire guild to a raid, to send out a mass invite to your entire guild. And I think that's through the guild window. And now there's a guild window too, which is very useful. Yeah. A lot of quality of life adjustments. This Everquest gives you a lot of quality of life. Some of these things no other MMO out there does. Some of them they don't need because, frankly, other guilds, other MMOs don't have 6 group raids of 6 people. I'm sorry, 12 group raids. They don't build raids around 64 people runs, but EverQuest does. That's not my cup of tea, but it is other people's. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. KRONO, PICKZONE, and DZ, Dynamic Zone. So, these pick zones and dynamic zones are related. They're instances. KRONO is not. So I'll cover KRONO first, and then I'll cover pick zones and dynamic zones. So KRONO is in-game. It's an in-game item that you can redeem for a month of game time. And KRONO is used as a major form of currency. It's KRONO and Platinum are the 2 major forms of tradable currency. And depending on the server, it depends on how much a KRONO is worth. So when Teak and Tormax, or whatever the name of the other server is that nobody's going to play on, drop, KRONO are going to be selling for maybe 100 plat. But on servers right now, they sell for close to 1 million plat on most servers once the economy goes crazy. After all the plat duping and item duping that we've had over the last problems with over the last couple of years, they really do need to remake. They need an EverQuest 3 that's a lot like classic EverQuest, but with updated code. So believe it or not, people are finding ways to break the code of a 25-year-old game that doesn't have the modern day protections that other games do. Not that they don't find ways to break that code, but so over the past couple of years, we have had a money duplication bug, and then an item duplication bug, and then another item duplication bug. So people took advantage of this, and they couldn't keep it a secret. If they had kept it a secret, it wouldn't have had an impact on. It wouldn't have had a major impact on the economy. Um, but because they didn't keep it a secret and bought up tons of KRONO, and then sold it and made a lot of real life. And you can sell KRONO for real life money. You buy KRONO from Daybreak, from the people who make EverQuest. So you buy KRONO from EverQuest for $17 or $18 a piece, which is way too much money in my opinion. And then you can sell it on the secondary market for like $10 a piece. Only these guys sold it to the point where it got down to $6 a piece, which is good for guys like me who buy KRONO and then actually use it for game time. But for people who are using it as in-game currency, and most of the KRONO ever bought has been used for in-game currency, just so you know. Like over 90% of it is still in the game and being used for in-game currency. It's just crazy. Yeah, they made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of that. So that's KRONO. It's around. If you decide you want to pay for your game with KRONO, you can do it. It's not impossible. There are guys who do it that way. Um, yeah, that's the thing you want to do. By all means, go nuts. If you want to become a KRONO magnet, magnet's the wrong word, but if you want to be buying and selling KRONO and win the bazaar game, by all means. If that's your style of play, enjoy yourself. Not my thing. I'm here to actually play a game, but if you're enjoying yourself, you're playing the game right. So /PICKZONE and DZ or dynamic zones. So /PICKZONE, if you get, I think it's 50 to 100 people in a zone, it will spawn a second zone. Depending on, and each zone has a different max limit, but most zones are about 50 people. Could be 30, could be 50. I don't have any of this memorized, folks. I know we have forced a zone, forced a pick zone. We got the entire guild one night to go to KRONO's castle because we were trying to get what's his name? I don't remember his name, but there's a piece for the monk epic in KRONO's castle, and we were trying to get that character to spawn, and it was heavily camped in the one pick that was up. So it was evening, and most of the guild was on, and we had it wasn't a bat phone situation, and bat phone means you're standing by your bat phone, and when you get when the call comes in from the commissioner, you rush in to fight the Joker. That's why they call it bat phone. Or that's what the original bat phone is from the old 1960s Batman TV show. What that means in EverQuest terms or in any MMO terms is if you're a bat phone person, then you wait, and when you get a phone call or a notification from Discord that hey, log in real quick, we're doing such and such, you're expected to drop everything in real life and go and respond to the bat phone. Now, there are people who live this way and can handle that. Retirees, college students, and the independently wealthy can all bat phone if they want to. Us working stiffs, we can't bat phone. So we didn't bat phone. What we did is we're all on it around about the same 3 hours at night. So we'd play every night for a couple hours each. And there's some overlap between the 4 time zones in the continental United States. And so almost all of us were on, and we had a bunch of monks who couldn't get the what do you call it there? The spawn, because it kept getting camped by other people, which happens. Even with PICKZONE, it happens. So they're like, one of them asks in guild, can we maybe get this, can we try and force a pick so we can get the spawn? So we were like, sure, we're not doing anything right now. And 100 plus of us got teleported to Dreadlands, ran to Karnor's castle, and we all ran into the zone, and it forced a new zone, a new pick zone. And that's the command. That's why we call it a pick zone, because it forces a new zone, a new instance of that zone to spawn. And it ended up spawning three or four, about three or four, all said and done. And we were jumping from pick zone to pick zone. The people with track were. I didn't have track, so my job was to just sit there and wait. I don't remember what tune I was on, but that is generally my job when I'm playing a tune. I like being ranged DPS. So anyway, my job was to just sit there and go and wait. So I did. And sure enough, we found, out of the 3 pick zones, we found one guy. We needed that, and we needed the guy for the Monk Epic, and we needed the guy for the Venrir Sathir. We needed him for the Druid and the Ranger Epics. And there may be somebody else who drops in KC that we needed to get. And so we took 100 people, we spawned some pick zones, and we took them. We ran down, got our mobs, and it was really, really easy. Of course, if you have 100 people fighting one mob, that isn't built for that. It is really easy. And then we have dynamic zones, which are, again, another form of instancing. But dynamic zones are only available through an agent of change, and you go up to the agent of change and you say you want to go and use your dynamic zone. You go up to them, you'll see them in nearby raid areas. There are only specific areas that have agents of change. So in Classic, it's the obvious places, like the Plane of Fear has an agent of change. The Plane of Sky has an agent of change. The Plane of Hate has an agent of change. Vox, Nagy, and Finney, all their zones have agents of change. I'm not sure. The whole has an agent of change to get Yale. Soul A does not have an agent of change, though I wish they did, because there's a cleric epic drop in there that always gets bottlenecked. But yeah, so all of those places that you would raid at have an agent of change. And what an agent of change does is it opens a dynamic zone for you. It opens your own instance for you, which you can go in by yourself and get your butt kicked. Or, unless you're much, much higher level and you're coming back down to a lower level one, or you can take your whole raid group into this is what they're mostly used for, DZs. You can take your whole raid group and go into this instance zone that's instanced for you and go and enjoy yourself, and you have the entire zone to yourself, which is pretty awesome. Now, the caveat here is every character or account, depending on the server, every character by minimum is locked into that dynamic zone. Into that dynamic zone for a week. So if you use that dynamic zone on Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the evening, you can't use that same dynamic zone until Tuesday at 6:01 the next week. Now, that doesn't lock you out from all DZs, just that particular zone. So if you go and kill Finney on Tuesday, and you kill, let's pick another one at random here, Nagy on what did I say, Tuesday? On Wednesday, you kill Nagy, and on Thursday, you kill Vox, and on Friday, you kill Innie, and on Saturday, you kill Kazakh Thule, and on Sunday, you kill Yale, which if you can, and then Monday, because there's 7 zones that are instanced in Old World, on Monday, you can go up to Sky, and that becomes your raiding schedule if you were doing all of these raids every week. So it allows you to do 1 DZ per week per zone. I think I've explained that well enough, but yeah, you can't just keep spawning DZs to get the spawns you want. It doesn't work that way. And if you decide to go and do a DZ with another guild, and then your guild decides to do that DZ, you got to sit out of your guild's run, just so you know. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's happened to me. But I got the loot I needed when I did it the first time with a different guild. Because my guild could not get to Island 7 of, what do you call that? Sky. This is on Thornblade, another random loot server. So I was playing a mage, and I needed to get and part of the Mage Epic is picking up a trash mob drop on Island 7. And you need a key to get to each additional island. So you start on Island 1, and then you got to gather a key to get to Island 2, and gather a key to get to Island 3, and gather a key on Island 3 to get to Island 4, and you gather a key on Island 4 to get to Island 5. And we couldn't get past Island 6, our guild, at that time. And this is the only thing stopping me from getting my epic. So I'm like, this is not good. And he's like, and so I talked to the guild leader about it, and he's like, dude, burn your DZ with a guild that's clearing Sky right now. I'm like, really? I'm like, just tell him. He's like, just tell him. All you need is a key to 7, and you'll happily come along and nuke for him and do damage. And as long as you get the key to 7, then you don't need any rolls. And they were like, and so that's what I said to a guild that was clearing Sky, and they were like, dude, sure, come on, dude, you can still roll, dude. They were pretty cool. They were fun to group with, actually, but their raiding schedule was far beyond what I could commit to. But I had fun with them when I played with them a few more times after that. They were really nice guys and girls and whatever. So that's what dynamic zones are. That's what PICKZONE is. That covers KRONO. We talked about the raid window. This is going to be a relatively quick video. I'm only at 21 minutes. So yeah, this is just a quick quality of life update. I covered 5, maybe 6 major topics, and yeah. So more quality of life changes. Highly recommend those 40 slot bags. They're amazing. If you don't want to spend that kind of money, which you probably don't, pick up the Thule pack. If not, you're stuck with at most 10 slot bags. And maybe you can get some that are weight reduced if you can quest for them. If that sounds appealing to you, which it probably does, because it kind of sounds appealing to me, go for it. But I love having 40 slot bags. It just makes the game so much easier. I don't have to run back and empty them. I don't have to make loot choices. I just carry everything with me until I'm done in a zone, and then pop back and sell. So they almost never fill up. It depends on how long I spend in the zone. All right, guys, boys, girls, hamsters of all ages, all you truckers out there, love y'all. Thanks for listening this far, and keep on trucking, you blam blam truckers.